Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Porsha Williams reveals why ex-Simon was detained by ICE. Reality star Porsha Williams recently shared a document in response to a motion filed by her ex, Simon Guobadia. In it, she discussed her ex's recent ICE detainment. Since then, a judge recently made a ruling concerning Guobadia's motion. Williams is best known to audiences from the reality series, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Initially appearing on the show in 2012, she left in 2021, only to rejoin in 2024. In her personal life, Williams had been married to Nigerian entrepreneur Simon Guobadia from 2022 to 2024. Beforehand, she had been married to former professional football player Cordell Stewart. Speaking with People, Williams has recently responded to Guobadia's claims within their divorce. According to documents obtained by the publication, Guobadia filed an emergency motion regarding their prenuptial agreement back in late February. This took place after Guobadia, a Nigerian citizen, was detained by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Williams responded to this with a 10-page document. As it read, "Husband's attempt to avoid the consequences of his own request is disingenuous and a continuation of his pattern of delay tactics throughout this litigation." Notably, the meeting was originally meant to take place on Zoom. However, he then requested it be conducted in person. As the filing continued, but for husband's specific request for an in-person hearing, the matter would have proceeded via Zoom, thereby eliminating his current objections. Husband is solely responsible for the in-person setting of the hearing, and his emergency motion for continuance is merely an attempt to evade his own strategic choice. Wife respectfully requests that this court deny husband's motion and proceed with the hearing as scheduled, as husband should not be permitted to manipulate the forum to suit his convenience. With his filing, Guobadia claimed the location was limiting his ability to prepare with legal counsel. His detention facility was reportedly 2 hours away from Atlanta. Guobadia's attorney also claimed his personal testimony was needed. He also claimed he was taken into ICE custody back in February was for reasons unknown at this time. With her response, Williams claimed there wasn't a legal reason for the hearing to be held in person. It was also alleged that Guobadia's detainment had been self-inflicted. According to the document, it was claimed Guobadia's unavailability was due to multiple attempts to illegally enter and remain in the United States, which resulted in his most recent detention. It continued, "Granting a continuance under these circumstances would unfairly reward husband for the consequences of his own actions." Wife has vocalized her concerns about husband's questionable immigration status throughout this litigation, and husband was fully aware of his long-standing immigration challenges, including multiple denials of his citizenship requests. Husband's assertion that his detention was unforeseeable is without merit, as his current situation is a direct result of his choices, and no equitable basis exists to justify a continuance due to circumstances he knowingly risked. In the end, a judge ultimately granted Guobadia's motion for continuance. A new date hasn't been set as of yet. Porsha Williams reveals why ex-Simon Guobadia was detained by ICE. In a dramatic twist that has left fans and media buzzing, reality TV star Porsha Williams has opened up about a shocking incident involving her ex-husband, Simon Guobadia, and his brief detention by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Known for her outspoken nature and unfiltered honesty, Porsha's revelation has sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, especially as Simon is a highly visible figure in the Atlanta social scene, thanks to his marriage to Porsha and his high-profile business ventures. The revelation came in a candid interview that Porsha gave to a leading news outlet, where she discussed not only her personal life and her journey as an activist, but also the startling details about Simon's brief run-in with ICE. For those familiar with Porsha's life, this news was both unexpected and intriguing. Simon, who had garnered attention both for his past marriage to Porsha and his subsequent relationship with other celebrities, has always been seen as a successful entrepreneur with substantial influence. But as Porsha laid bare, this image of success came with some unexpected complications. The shocking detention. According to Porsha, Simon's detention by ICE was an incident that caught everyone off guard. It all started when Simon, a Nigerian-born businessman, traveled out of the country for a business meeting. Though Simon had been in the U.S. for years, holding both a U.S.
Porsha
visa
explained
and that his
card.
legal status had always been a gray area, an issue that, unbeknownst to many, was brewing beneath the surface. Simon's travels were routine until a stop at a U.S. border checkpoint raised some red flags. Porsha revealed that Simon's documents came under intense scrutiny, especially given the ever-evolving rules and regulations surrounding immigration and visa statuses. It was there that ICE agents detained him temporarily as they assessed whether he had violated any terms of his residency or failed to update necessary documentation. In her interview, Porsha clarified that while Simon's detention was unsettling, it was a temporary measure while authorities clarified the matter. A personal battle unfolds. While many might have expected Porsha to offer a scathing commentary on Simon, she instead expressed a mixture of concern and empathy. "It was a hard time for us both," she admitted, recalling the hours of uncertainty she spent waiting for updates on Simon's status. "I was concerned, but I also knew Simon had been handling his affairs, trying to keep everything in order." However, Porsha did not shy away from the emotional impact the ordeal had on her. The uncertainty of not knowing how long Simon would be detained or what the potential consequences could mean for their future created a rift between them. Despite their separation, she was still affected by the situation, which forced her to confront their complicated relationship dynamics and how intertwined their lives still were. "You don't expect something like this to happen. Even though we were no longer married, there's a connection. It was overwhelming," she shared. Porsha also mentioned that the stress of the situation brought back memories of when she and Simon were married, and she realized how much she still cared about him. "When you go through a stressful time with someone, you remember why you were drawn to them in the first place," she said. Despite their divorce, Porsha's love for Simon had not entirely vanished. The detainment incident was a reminder of their deep history together, even if they had moved on from that chapter. Legal complexities and public scrutiny. Porsha did not hold back from discussing the broader issue of legal complexities that often affect immigrants in the U.S., particularly individuals who may have faced delays or mishandling in the immigration process. "Simon isn't the only one who's gone through this," she pointed out. "There are thousands of people who find themselves in this situation, and sometimes it's just a paperwork issue that causes chaos in their lives." Her candid remarks struck a chord with her audience, many of whom had experienced similar challenges or knew people who had. For Porsha, the situation became more than just a headline about her ex. It became a commentary on the challenges many immigrants face, and she was quick to emphasize that while her ex-husband's experience was extreme, it was part of a much larger issue within the U.S. immigration system. The aftermath and relationship reflections. After the detention incident, Simon was quickly released, and Porsha revealed that he managed to clear up the confusion with ICE. The entire process, however, took a toll on both Simon and their relationship. In the aftermath, Simon focused on ensuring his legal matters were settled, and Porsha reflected on how their paths had diverged since their divorce. While their marriage may not have lasted, Porsha made it clear that she had a deep respect for Simon's resilience. "He's always been a fighter," she remarked, acknowledging the hurdles Simon faced both as a businessman and as someone navigating a complex immigration system. "I know Simon, and I know he's not someone who gives up. It was just a bump in the road, and he handled it." Porsha also took a moment to reflect on how far she had come since their split. "I'm not the same person I was when we were together," she said. "I've grown a lot, both as an individual and as an activist." But I also realize that there's still a part of me that wishes the best for him. Despite their separation, Porsha and Simon were able to maintain a level of mutual respect and understanding. This maturity in their relationship dynamic was something Porsha was proud of. She emphasized that while they might not have been meant to be together romantically, they had evolved into friends who could support one another during difficult times. A larger conversation. Porsha's revelation about Simon's detention by ICE opened the door for broader conversations about the nuances of immigration policies, the legal challenges many individuals face in the U.S., and how personal lives intersect with national issues. She concluded the interview with a call for more compassion and reform in immigration laws, stating that it was important for people to understand the real-life consequences of policies that affect families and individuals across the country.